Okay. Anyone else required recording permission? Mr. Sanket, do you need that? If you are, whoever is joining from laptop would be able to record the lectures. Okay.
But please
Sure.
share the recording, whoever is recording.
Okay. So whoever is recording now, they can share with each others. Okay now. Chalo. Now the new chapter that we need to study is the air traffic services. Air traffic services means what? How the air traffic control services provide you the services. That is what this chapter is about. This is the annexure 11 of the ICAO. On the first day that we studied, there are the 19 annexures of the Chicago Convention. Okay. Rules of the air was the annexure 2. Air traffic services is annexure 11. That is the 11th chapter book where the content of air traffic services would be mentioned. Now, what are the objectives of air traffic services? Uska kaam kya hai ye department banane ka? That is one thing. That is the objectives of air traffic services. That objectives of air traffic services shall be what? Shall be to prevent the collision between the aircrafts, prevent collision between the aircraft on the maneuvering area and the obstructions on that areas, expedite and maintain the orderly flow of the air traffic services, provide advice and the information useful for the safe and efficient conduct of the flights, notify appropriate organization regarding aircraft in the need of search and rescue aid, and assist such organization as required. So these are the objectives of air traffic services. The air traffic services का काम क्या है? तो ये 4 चीज का काम है. तो what they are gonna do? They are gonna do this. Divisions of air traffic services. The air traffic services is further divided into different departments because ये तो बहुत सारा काम हो गया ना. एक person तो नहीं कर सकता. We need to divide those whole department, air traffic service, to differentiate the workloads. That differentiation of workloads would be divided into 3 different departments. The one is the area control service, the another is the approach control service, and then is the third is the aerodrome control service. So the air traffic control service, that is the service, is divided into 3 different departments. That is area control service, approach control service, and aerodrome control service. Now, what does the area control service mean? I'll show you one chart paper to you. On the basis of that, we'll be able to understand this services on a little bit more better way. Saying that whenever you're going to fly the aircrafts, you'd be having a VFR charts. That VFR charts would be looking like this. Okay. Now, if you can see the blue constant lines? This blue lines, can you see this? Okay. This is known as the area controls of each and every airport. Every airport would be having their own area control. So this area control is of Ahmedabad airspace. This is known as. In Ahmedabad airspace, we have 3 different airports also included into it. That is Indore also, that is Vadodara also, that is Udaipur also. Okay. Now, saying that whichever the aircraft flying inside this blue area at 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet, whatever that flight level would be, that area would be controlled by whom? Area control center. Whose area control center? Whichever area you would be flying in. That is the Ahmedabad ke airspace mein you are flying. So Ahmedabad area control would be controlling the traffic. Saying that from Mumbai se Delhi जाने वाली flight Ahmedabad के होते हुए जाएगी ना, 40,000 feet पे fly करते करते, right? Or 30,000 feet पे. So whichever the aircrafts are inbound and outbound to the traffic, whoever are not gonna land into the Ahmedabad airspace or somewhere, but they are just gonna overfly that airspace. That traffic would be controlled by a department of air traffic services, that is area control service. Then saying that for an example, there is another flight. That is Mumbai se Ahmedabad ki ek flight thi, who are gonna land in Ahmedabad. That traffic would be what? Descending into the Ahmedabad airspace and coming to land to Ahmedabad. So whatever the guidance would be there to make that aircraft lead to land on the runway, or whatever the airspace that he is gonna land, that the aircraft was gonna land at Vadodara, then the Ahmedabad approach will help that aircraft to descend from his level to lead to near to that aerodrome, airport to land. After that, one step closer comes the aerodrome control, where that aerodrome control का काम ये हो जाता है that वो approach करके तो आ गया, अब वो किसी के airspace में आ गया, airport के airspace में आ गया, एयरपोर्ट का भी एक छोटा सा एयरस्पेस, दैट इज द वन डॉटेड सर्कल, कैन यू कैन सी एवरी एयरपोर्ट के बाहर होगा डॉटेड सर्कल, ये एयरस्पेस के अंदर आ जाएगा, देन इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ एरोड्रोम कंट्रोल टू मेक दैट एयरक्राफ्ट लैंड ऑन द रनवे एंड देन टैक्सी एप्रन पे पार्क करना, ये सब काम होगा एरोड्रोम कंट्रोल का. So the whole air traffic services is divided into three: area control, approach control, aerodrome control. इन तीनों का काम अलग अलग है. Did you all got that? Okay, sure. Now that is the first service, that is the air traffic services का पहला काम था traffic separation provide करना. That traffic separation is provided by whom? Air traffic control service. Okay, just hold on a minute, there are more bifurcations on the same knowledge only that we are gonna study. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you from my notes that I have created for my students, so I will share the screenshots to you later on after the lectures. Okay, so coming to the air traffic services, the air traffic services has objectives, this many objectives that we studied right now only. From that objective, the first department, so ये सारा objectives को fulfill करने के लिए 3 departments हैं: air traffic control service, flight information service and alerting service. Air traffic control is the ATC tower. Okay, that ATC tower is divided further into 3 that we studied right now: area control, approach control and aerodrome control. So air traffic services के 3 departments है. You can write down like this: air traffic services, 3 departments. The one is the air traffic control service, flight information service, alerting service. So air traffic, ATS, ATCS, flight information service and alerting. The air traffic control service is further divided into 3: area control service, ACC we can say, approach control service, APP we can say, and aerodrome control service, tower also you can say. Just write down this much.
Excuse me, sir. What is the last one? I cannot
Tower,
read it.
tower.
No,
tower.
not in that. The above that.
Alerting it is alerting.
Okay, FIS and alert.
Yeah, flight information service and alerting. So air traffic services has 3 departments: air traffic control service, flight information service, alerting service. Air traffic control service का काम क्या? Traffic separation provide करना with terms of 3 different departments: area control, approach control, aerodrome control. Okay, did you all got that? Now coming further to this only, then we have the another department of air traffic services only, that is flight information service. A flight information service का काम क्या है? Flight information service का काम है to provide information. So flight information services provided to all aircraft that is likely to be affected by the information. Specifically, aircraft which are provided with air traffic service, aircraft which are otherwise known to relevant air traffic service unit. So flight information services is what? That whatever the aircraft, saying that for an example, a flight from Mumbai to Delhi, that aircraft is going, and whatever that information I have with me saying that weather at Delhi is bad now, but that flight is gonna get affected by that. Who is gonna provide that information to that aircraft? Who is responsible one? Responsible one would be the service, that is the air traffic service ka flight information service is responsible one to provide all the relevant information to the aircraft which is gonna get affected by it or which in future can get affected by it. But whom they are gonna get that information to all the aircrafts which are known by the air traffic control service. कंट्रोल एटीसी टावर को जिन जिन एयरक्राफ्ट के बारे में पता है कि फ्लाई कर रहे हैं मेरे विसिनिटी में, उन सबको ये सर्विस मिलेगी, फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस, और उनको भी मिलेगी जो अदरवाइज एयर ट्रैफिक सर्विस को पता है कि ये फ्लाई करने वाले हैं, उनको भी ये सर्विस मिलेगी. क्या सर्विस? दैट इज द फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस, फ्लाइट रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन. क्या इंफॉर्मेशन मिल सकती है फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विसेज में? So that is the segment and airmet. Segment and airmet is weather information related to the region and the sector. Then volcanic eruption activity related, release of any radioactive or toxic materials into the atmosphere that would be shared. Information concerning of the change of serviceability of the radio navigation. Now navigation you are studying, we required on ground navigation equipment also to navigate from one place to another. If saying that if I was going to Mumbai and then Mumbai may that is ground-based navigation aid is not available, so the aircraft will not be able to go there, right, for the navigation purpose. So that information is also to be provided to the aircraft who are flying, who are gonna get affected by that information. Who is the responsible one? Flight information service. Any information concerning the change of condition concerning the aerodromes. Aerodrome serviceability ke regarding that the Mumbai airspace is now closed because of Mumbai airport is having a heavy rainfall and the runway is flooded. Do that aircraft can go anywhere to land over there? No. So that information also would be shared by whom? That is flight information service. Who would get this all information? Whoever is known by the air traffic control service or whoever is flying into that vicinity. Information concerning unmanned free balloons. If any free balloons are flying on, that information is gonna helpful to the air pilots who are flying. That would be shared. Other information consent pretend to be related to the safety related any information that would affect the flight, that also would be shared to the air traffic control service. That is the flight information service would be providing that. Now in more detail, if we study what is an airmet and segment. Airmet and segment is something according to the annexure 11. Airmet is defined as what? Information concerning the occurrence or expected occurrence of a specified en route. Hey, just hold on. Okay. Information concerning the occurrence or expected occurrence of a specified en route weather phenomena, which may affect the safety of low-level aircraft. That means what? This airmet is en route weather information. En route weather information for the low-level aircraft who can get affected is known as airmet. Segment is information issued by the Meteorological Watch Office concerning the occurrence or expected occurrence of a specified en route weather phenomena which may affect the safety of the aircraft operation. This is not specified only for the low-level aircraft, but this is specified for the whole segment areas. Low-level aircrafts are the aircrafts whoever are flying less than flight level 150. You can write it down over here also later on. Okay? Did you all got this? What is airmet and segment? Now, yeah, flight information service जो ये सब transmit कर रहे हैं, information मिलेगा कैसे? Via ATC VHF communication they can share, correct? Right? But you tell me one thing, there are thousands of aircraft flying. ये information सबको चाहिए ही रहेगी, weather related information, safety related information, whoever would be vicinity, सबको देना है. अभी मुंबई airspace पे रोज every minute one aircraft is landing. That means what? There would be 50 aircrafts actually approaching on Mumbai within that 1 hour, right? So is it feasible to communicate this information to one aircraft? Okay, like Mr. Shekhar को मैं call करके बोल रहा हूँ that there is a Mumbai पे airfield है, so please take initiation. Sahil को call करके बोलूँगा मैं that Sahil, that whenever you are approaching Mumbai, please take a precaution. Weather is not good. संकेत सर को बोलूँगा मैं call करके. Not correct ना? नहीं है, possible नहीं है ये सारी चीजें communicate करना, right? So the weather related information or airport terminal related information is shared on a VHF communication frequency. Like FM को tune कर दोगे आप, FM को tune करोगे, रोज बजते रहता है कुछ ना कुछ, right? बजते रहेगा ना? It's not gonna stop. That is the information source that I can use. Similar to that only, there is one series of information shared on one specific frequency, like FM only, VHF frequency पे. वो VHF frequency का frequency होगा 1 to 1.3.25 or something. That frequency would be shared. That frequency, whenever you'll tune, for Mumbai it would be different, Ahmedabad it would be different, for Delhi it would be different. जैसे ही आप वो airspace में जाओगे, you'll tune that frequency. As soon as you tune that frequency, whatever the communication or the information would be related or required to be known to you, that would be shared on that, and that is known as Automatic Terminal Information Service, ATIS. What it is known as Automatic Terminal Information Service. What it would be containing? It would be containing the terminal information related which airport to land, which runway is going to be used, what ILS approach is going on. Then comes the METAR, meteorological METAR. That is the MET information. That MET information is what? What is the winds? What are the clouds? What is the visibility? What is the consideration of the weather? That is in terms of rain, thunderstorms or not. What is QNH? What are the temperature? What is dew point? That is, you are studying in meteorology right now, right? So that information would be shared. What I'll do, I will make you hear that ATIS to you right now. We'll try to understand what that information is. फिर मैं आपको बताता हूँ क्या होता है information. ठीक है? ATIS. Shall we hear that ATIS? How कैसा सुनाई देता है वो? Okay, I'll just give a call to that ATIS service. So this ATIS service is provided by whom? But वो पहले आंसर करो मेरे को. Air traffic services के 3 departments है. Air traffic control service, flight information service, and the alerting service. So this ATIS information, who is the responsible authority to provide that information to you? That is Flight Information Service. Yeah, that Flight Information Service, by any means that information shall be available to you, by any chance, by any means. So on radio frequency, there would be frequency given to the aircraft. तो aircraft से tune करके हम सुन सकते हैं. या on ground अगर आपको सुनना है तो टेलीफोन नंबर्स देके रखे उन्होंने वो टर्मिनल इंफॉर्मेशन लेने के लिए. So I'm calling this, okay?
Welcome to Delhi ATIS phone interface. To continue, please press 1.
This is Indira Gandhi International Airport, New Delhi ATIS information. Info Might. Time UTC 0930. Expect radar vector ILS approach runway 10 and runway 11. Runway 09 for departures, runway 10 for arrivals, and runway 11 in mixed mode. Transitional level flight level 55. Wind 090 degrees 10 knots. Max 20 knots. Visibility 2,800 meters. Weather haze. Cloud scattered 3,500 feet. Temperature 31 degrees Celsius. Dew point 24 degrees Celsius. QNH 999 hectopascals. Trimmed becoming 3,000 meters. This was Indira Gandhi International Airport, New Delhi ATIS information.
Did you got that? इसमें से एक चीज हमें पता है क्या है. ट्रांजिशन लेवल 55 क्या है वो? कैन एनीवन टेल मी? हम लोग ने रूल्स ऑफ द एयर में पढ़ाई किया था. ट्रांजिशन लेवल क्या होता है? That if you are flying above that, then you would be flying on the basis of QNE, that is 1013.25 hectopascal. That is in terms of flight levels. If you're flying below that, then you'll be flying in terms of altitude. That is QNH. याद आया? ठीक है. फिर बाकी सब तो details information था. Winds क्या है? Visibility was 2,800. Then temperature, dew point they told what are the runways used for landing and taking off. Okay, there are 3 runways on Delhi, so they have given all that information for that thing. But takeoff is for this runway 11 is used for the takeoff, runway 12 is used for the landing, like that. Did you all got that? What is that ATIS information? Okay, so this has been provided by whom? That is Flight Information Service. So Automatic Terminal Information Service broadcast consists of 2 types of broadcast. That is the ATIS and the data ATIS. Data is on the printed form. and the voice
Sir,
ATIS
what's
is
the
the.
phone number of that where you have
I'll
called
share.
it? Means-
I'll share it to
Oh,
you. Okay. Okay. The
ठीक है.
preparation and dissemination of the ATIS is the responsibility of whom? Air traffic service. और air traffic service का कौन सा department? That is flight information service. Voice ATIS is usually transmitted on a discrete VHF frequency, disabled only all aerodrome plates. मतलब हर एक एरोड्रोम का अप्रोच प्लेट जो होगा ना, अप्रोच प्रोसीजर जहां पे भी मेंशन्ड होगा वो पेपर पे, वहां पे उन्होंने एटिस की फ्रीक्वेंसी मेंशन करी हुई रहेगी. इट मे बी ट्रांसमिटेड ऑन द वॉइस चैनल ऑल्सो ऑफ VOR. VOR का जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है ना, टू लैंड, दैट इज VOR इज व्हाट, very high frequency omni direction range, that is the navigation equipment used in the navigation. So हम लोग पढ़ाई करेंगे, आप navigation में उसके लिए क्या कंटेंट होता है. ATIS is never transmitted on a voice channel of ILS. ATIS is a continuous and repetitive. ATIS information normally relates to the signal aerodromes, and the broadcast should not last longer than 30 seconds. It is updated immediately any significant change occurs. Air traffic service is responsible for making sure that the service is available and up to date. Each sequence of ATIS broadcast will have a specific sequential broadcast designator letter. इसके लिए क्या था? This information is mic, M वाला designator था ये, है ना. आधे घंटे बाद दूसरा आएगा तो दूसरे designator के साथ आएगा वो. So that at least you can get to know that what information you are hearing is information mic, like that. तो किसी को अगर रिलेट करना रहेगा तो हम बता सकते कि इंफॉर्मेशन माइक में ये मेंशन था. डेजिग्नेटर तो होना चाहिए ना कोई चीज का, आप जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन आप ले रहे हो. Thereafter that, ATIS broadcast will also induce cloud cover when the cloud base is below 5,000 feet. So cloud base was 1,500 feet. That's why उन्होंने ATIS में information दी थी हमें cloud की, right? Or when cumulonimbus cloud is present, ATIS में mentioned होगा cloud related information. Are you getting that, guys? ठीक है. So this is the, 1 second. Sorry. So this is the information, that is the second department of air traffic services, that is the flight information service. उसका काम क्या है? ये detailed flight related information share करना. Okay. Then comes the alerting service, is the third department of the air traffic service that is providing you, that is the alerting service. Now, alerting service का काम क्या है? Within a flight information region or whatever that FIR region would be there, whichever airspace you would be flying, the provision of the service to the aircraft requests assistance or indicating that they may require assistance is the responsibility of the alerting service. This service is provided by an air traffic service unit. That is the alerting service जो provide करी जा रही है, वो सारे डिपार्टमेंट मिलकर एयरक्राफ्ट को देता है. एयर ट्रैफिक सर्विस यूनिट ही देता है, जो एरिया कंट्रोल होगा, फ्लाइट कंट्रोल होगा, एरोड्रोम कंट्रोल होगा, वो सब मिलकर अलर्टिंग सर्विस देंगे. अलर्टिंग सर्विस इज व्हाट ऑल द एयरक्राफ्ट प्रोवाइडेड विद द एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल सर्विस, उनको ये सर्विस मिलेगी. एज फार एज प्रैक्टिकेबल, ऑल एयरक्राफ्ट दैट हैव फिल्ड अ फ्लाइट प्लान or otherwise known by the air traffic control would be having that service available. Any aircraft known or subject to unlawful interference also would be having this alerting service. Alerting service helps us to, whenever you are flying and if you need any emergency assistance, they would be providing you. Alerting service in terms of emergency, urgency related thing. So the emergency, urgency related thing, the alerting service would keep you in some different segments in terms of your emergency. Saying that you were flying an aircraft and you did not communicate to the ATC controller for 30 minutes now. You were supposed to communicate, but 30 minutes have passed and you have not communicated. Your aircraft would be kept in an uncertainty phase. Your aircraft would be kept in an uncertainty phase where they would try to figure it out what is going on with you. So the stages of emergency, there are 3 stages of emergency where alerting service would provide you that assistance on the basis of that, and they would take precautionary things whenever required on the basis of the stage of emergency of that flight or the condition that they are evaluating. Okay, the stages of emergency are divided into 3. That is the uncertainty phase, that is the first phase. This stage exists when no communication has been received from an aircraft within a period of 30 minutes after the time at which normal communication should have been made, or the aircraft fails to arrive at the destination within 30 minutes of the estimated arrival time. If this is the condition, then your aircraft would be kept in an uncertainty phase. Second, if this phase has been crossed now, you did not communicate. After that, alert phase would be come into the act, and that would be known as alerfa as a code, when alert phase would be declared following the uncertainty phase, the pehla wala phase hai wo, except when evidence exists that would allow inference as to the safety of the aircraft and the occupant when subsequent attempt to make communication has been failed and there is no further news of that aircraft. That after 30 minutes, the ATC controller tried to communicate and to figure it out the way of communication with that aircraft, but now no communication has been gained. Or one condition can also exist that the aircraft fails to land within 5 minutes after the issuing the landing clearance. मतलब एक एयरक्राफ्ट को लैंडिंग क्लियरेंस दे दिया मैंने, बट वो लैंड होने के बाद या तो 5 मिनट हो गए और उसने कॉल नहीं दिया saying that we have landed. That means what, that aircraft may have been go around कर दिया उसने, या तो runway excursion होके कुछ तो हुआ है वो एयरक्राफ्ट के साथ, and that would be directly kept that aircraft into the alert phase. Information has been received that the operating efficiency of the aircraft is impaired, but not that the forced landing is likely. मतलब किधर से तो कोई तो information ऐसी मिली है कि कुछ तो problem हो गया वो aircraft के साथ, but वो अभी forced landing का तो कोई criteria नहीं है फिलहाल. If that information is also been received, then that aircraft would be kept into the alert phase, and alert phase related procedures they would be following. After that, it is known that an aircraft has been subject to unlawful interference. Hijack हो चुका है, तो वो aircraft को alert phase में डाल दिया है. Okay, are you getting it? Then the aircraft would further kept into the distress phase. The distress phase would be declared following the alert phase, except where there is responsible certainty that the aircraft and its occupant are not threatened by grave and immediate danger. When further attempts at the communication are unsuccessful and a wind spread inquiry indicates the probability that the aircraft is in distress, then it would be kept into the distress phase. Further attempt at the communication are unsuccessful and a wind spread inquiry indicates that the probability that the aircraft is in distress. कहाँ से कोई तो information मिली है कि वो aircraft को आग लग गई है, या तो किसी ने inform किया कि बहुत पास से पास हुआ है और उसके landing gears भी down थे. Fuel on board is considered to be exhausted. Flight plan में हम लोग ने rules of the air में flight plan के बारे में पढ़ाई किया था. Flight plan में हम लोग duration of the fuel that we are carrying is also mentioned. That 6 hours of endurance, that I have 7 hours, वो भी क्रॉस हो चुका है या क्रॉस होने वाला है विदिन 30 to 40 मिनट्स में. दैट मींस व्हाट, अब तो एयरक्राफ्ट हवा में रह ही नहीं सकता ना, किधर ना किधर तो ठुक ही जाएगा वो. तो इट वुड बी कंसीडर्ड दैट इट इज इन अ डिस्ट्रेस फेज नाउ. Information is received that the operating efficiency of the aircraft is impaired, extent that the forced landing is likely now. Forced landing किधर ना किधर करेगा now. What is forced landing? That the pilot does not have any choice rather than to land. Landing on runway or landing on somewhere other place. Forced landing is known as. Information is received that the aircraft is about to or made a forced landing. So it would be in a distress phase. So these are the stages of emergency. That is, the first stage is known as insurfa, alerfa or distress phase, or uncertainty phase, alert phase or a distress phase. Okay? Are you getting it? Okay. Thereafter that, the another thing in this chapter is, this is the air traffic services. ठीक है, ये air traffic services सारा काम तो हो गया. क्या क्या डिपार्टमेंट है? Air traffic services का काम क्या है? What are the objectives? That are the 5 things on the first page of that we have studied. ठीक है, the air traffic services के पास इतना सारा काम है, so that they have divided the whole department of air traffic services into 3. Air traffic control service जो टावर होता है वो, एक है फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस जो बैकग्राउंड में इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करके लोगों को ट्रांसमिट करता है, और एक होता है जब इमरजेंसी आ जाती है, दैट इज नोन एज अलर्ट फेज प्रोवाइड करना, अलर्टिंग सर्विस, दैट इज नोन एज. देयर आर 3 डिपार्टमेंट्स. एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल सर्विस जो फर्स्ट डिपार्टमेंट है एयर ट्रैफिक सर्विस का, Control service is further divided into three. Area control, जो area को control करता है. Approach control, जो aircraft arrival और departure के लिए काम आने वाले air traffic है, उनको traffic separation provide करता है. और होता है एक aerodrome control, जो landing और take off और maneuvering area पे उनको guidance देते हैं. Thereafter that comes the flight information service. All information related to whatever that information that flight would require, that information is responsible, that is the flight information service. And then comes the alerting service. Fine. But being as a pilot or whoever flying an aircraft can also share some details information about the meteorology and the flying weather related. And that is known as air report. So flying an aircraft as an air report, you can also give weather information whenever you are transmitting. Where required, operational and the meteorological information can be transmitted in the form of an air report. Air report consists of a routine and a special report. A routine report has three sections. That means what? An air report can be also, like air ka report hum ATC ko de sakte hain, weather related information. So whenever you are flying, so you can transmit weather information in terms of this sequence, that you will be reporting your position first, then your ETA and endurance, that where you are going to and what endurance flight has, and then meteorological information. I will transmit one information and give it to you like how it would be sounding. Saying that Delhi control, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie, destination Mumbai, ETA 0800, endurance 0600 hours, flight level 300, temperature minus 15 degrees Celsius, winds 330 degrees, 16 knots, gusting to 25 knots, tailwind, no clouds, no significant CB development, weather clear, like that. So that is what the weather information you would be transmitting. Are you getting it? So this is in the sequence. So the air report has three sections. Section 1 contains the position report. Section 2 contains the operational information, that is ETA and then the endurance, and the section 3 contains the meteorological information. Fine. And that
This,
is the
air report is only one way between the aircraft and the traffic control.
ATC. Yeah, so you share the weather related information. The spatial air report also can be shared whenever you are experiencing severe turbulence, severe icing conditions are existing into the weather, severe mountain waves. You recognize what is mountain waves. Ask the meteorological instructor tomorrow what does the mountain waves is. He will explain you. Thereafter that, thunderstorms without hail that are obscured, heavy dust storms or sandstorms you are encountering during your flight, then you will share the weather information to the ATC about that. Volcanic ash clouds you find, then you will share that information also. And that is the end of the chapter.
So this report is only one way between the aircraft. It
Yes,
flows
yes.
from
Aircraft
to
and the ATC.
So it is
ATC.
only one way. Aircraft transmits to ATC. It is not
Yeah.
the other way around.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Okay.
Okay. Now,
So only pilots are supposed to give air reps. Correct?
yes, air report,
Okay.
that is known as. Pilots are giving that weather information to the ATC about that. What you can do, guys, you can take a screenshots of this. Take a screenshot. When you are done, let me know so that you can write down that content of this chapter, and thereafter that you'll not require to study the book that I'm giving to you. That R.K. Bali that you are referring. ये उसके अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा information है जो ज़रूरत नहीं है हमें. ठीक है? So you can take a screenshot of this.
Is it possible to share this document?
I'll share that document also. चलो ठीक है. I'll do one thing. After the lecture, I'll share this notes to you. Okay? Basically, it's not correct to share my personal books to you all, but ठीक है मैं भेज दूँगा वो photo screenshot लेके like that. Okay. ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत
Tell
नहीं
us
है.
where it is available. No,
No,
it
no.
is available in public.
So it's
available in
not
public domain,
publicly
we'll get it.
available. It's for my institute that I've created. Like that.
Ah,
I'll
okay.
share it to you.
Okay.
Don't worry. That's not a
Okay.
problem to me.
Okay.
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 That's okay. So now coming to our previous book, that is the R.K. Bali, we need to study a little bit more thing about that also. That is related to the information gaining only. अभी air traffic services के बारे में तो पता चल गया. कि ये सर्विसेज हमें मिलती है whenever we are flying or conducting a flight from one place to another. That is one thing, right? So उसके अलावा, so on the basis of this services ना, the airspace has been defined. Classes of airspace they are known as. Like हर एक एयरपोर्ट को एक standardized airspace बोल दिया है, उसको एक नाम दे दिया और category of that airspace has been defined. कि ये वाले एयरपोर्ट में आपको ये इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी, ये वाले एयरपोर्ट पे आपको ऐसी वाली इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी, कौन आपको वो सारी इंफॉर्मेशन देने वाला है, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट. सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट उसके लिए आई विल शो यू वन थिंग. पेज नंबर 121. So there are classes of airspace into the जो aerodromes को define करते हैं. That classes of airspace would be class A airspace, class B airspace, class D, C, E, F, E. इतने सारे different airspace होते हैं. Categories on the basis of that airport is capable to provide you that services. ठीक है? So that services depends upon the flight rule. कौन से flight rule? There are only two flight rules to fly an aircraft, that are the IFR flight rule or the VFR flight rule. तो हर एक एयरस्पेस में कौन से टाइप ऑफ एयरक्राफ्ट वहां पे अवेलेबल है और कौन से टाइप ऑफ एयरक्राफ्ट को कौन सी वाली सर्विस मिलने वाली है. एयर ट्रैफिक मतलब ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन रिलेटेड सर्विस मिलेगी उनको, फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगा, या तो अलर्टिंग सर्विस मिलेगा उनको. इन तीन में से बाइफर्केट किया गया रहेगा ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द एयरस्पेस दैट यू वुड बी फ्लाइंग टू. So class A airspace are those airspace where only IFR flights are allowed. Can you see? Type of flight allowed? Only IFR. Separation provided मतलब ATC tower सभी aircraft को traffic separation provide करेगा. Who would be responsible one to provide traffic separation? The air traffic service का air traffic control service is responsible to provide the traffic separation. किनको मिलेगा? सभी एयरक्राफ्ट को क्लास ए एयरस्पेस में जो भी आईएफआर फ्लाइट्स है उन सब को ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन मिलने वाला है. ओके, कम्युनिकेशन ये वाला चीज हम पढ़ाई नहीं करेंगे तो चलेगा. कम्युनिकेशन ये एयरस्पेस में अगर फ्लाई करना है तो एयरक्राफ्ट शैल बी इक्विप्ड विद टू वे कम्युनिकेशन. वीएचएफ कॉम होना ही चाहिए जहाज में, तभी आप ये एयरस्पेस में जा सकते हैं. क्लास बी एयरस्पेस, क्लास बी एयरस्पेस में IFR, VFR दोनों एयरक्राफ्ट अलाउड है. इन दोनों एयरक्राफ्ट को एयर ट्रैफिक सर्विस मिलेगा, मतलब ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन वुड बी प्रोवाइडेड बाय द ATC ओनली. टू वे कम्युनिकेशन शैल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू बोथ एयरक्राफ्ट. क्लास सी एयरस्पेस की बात करें, IFR भी अलाउड है, VFR भी अलाउड है, बट एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल सर्विस जो ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन वाला है वो IFR और IFR, देयर आर टू फ्लाइट्स, एक दो IFR फ्लाइट है, उन दोनों को ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन कौन प्रोवाइड करेगा? ATC. एक IFR फ्लाइट है, एक VFR फ्लाइट है, तो ATC टावर उनको सेपरेशन देगा. बट अगर दो VFR फ्लाइट्स है ना, उनको ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन नहीं मिलेगा, उनको फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस दी जाएगी. अंडरस्टूड? आर यू गेटिंग? फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस क्या होगा? के सेइंग दैट Mr. Sanket, you are flying at around 3,000 feet. At around 0100, one aircraft is gonna cross your path at 4,000 feet. Make sure that you are clear of traffic. क्योंकि आप तो VFR फ्लाइट कर रहे हो, तो VFR में तो ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन आप खुद से देख के कर सकते हो क्योंकि वेदर वुड बी गुड, 5 किलोमीटर विजिबिलिटी होगा. आर यू गेटिंग इट? फिर क्लास डी एयरस्पेस में धीरे धीरे कॉम्बिनेशंस कम होते जाते हैं. क्लास डी एयरस्पेस में IFR, VFR दोनों अलाउड है, बट ओनली IFR फ्लाइट को ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन मिलेगा, बाकी कोई भी कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ एयरक्राफ्ट को ट्रैफिक सेपरेशन नहीं मिलेगा. उनको क्या मिलेगा? फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस. क्लास डी के बाद आता है क्लास ई एयरस्पेस. IFR, VFR दोनों अलाउड है, उन सबको IFR क्लासेस, IFR, VFR दोनों अलाउड है. IFR वाले एयरक्राफ्ट को अब फ्लाइट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्विस दी जाएगी और बाकी सारे लोगों को ओनली दी ट्रैफिक इंफॉर्मेशन एज फार एज प्रैक्टिकेबल. अगर जरूरी है तो ही दिया जाएगा, नहीं तो नहीं दिया जाएगा. और ये वाले कंडीशन में VFR फ्लाइट्स को कम्युनिकेशन भी अगर वो जहाज में नहीं होगा टू वे तो भी चलेगा, ठीक है? Are you getting it? Are you getting it, guys?
Yeah.
थोड़ा सा.
So typically, class A, different types of airports. कौन से locations में? If you can give us that kind of.
मतलब
कैसे
location
पे? Say which cities, which airports, and number
नहीं,
one.
वो
and number
डिफाइन
two,
नहीं कर सकते. हमारे इंडिया में क्लास ए एयरस्पेस है ही नहीं, ठीक है? तो वो तो हमें जानने की जरूरत नहीं है. And wherever you are gonna fly, everywhere traffic services are gonna provided. This is the regulation that has been given to you, like that. Okay. Thereafter that, class A airspace तो हमारे इंडिया में है ही नहीं. क्लास बी airspace मतलब IFR, VFR हर जगह पे अलाउड है, और क्लास बी airspace है तो सबको सब चीज मिलेगी. Like that. We in over India, we don't fly on the basis of this separation. If you go US or somewhere other places, this classes of airspace are very important, because everything that you are gonna plan your flight according to, it's gonna plan according to this only. Where if you'll fly near to Juhu is also class B C airspace. So over there VFR को भी traffic separation और flight information service दी जाती है, like that. Okay.
धुले में?
Dule is uncontrolled airspace, class G airspace बोल दो उनको. वहाँ पे कोई टावर नहीं है. Tower is controlled by the students only over there, so you can rely on students. If they are good enough, then they would keep you separated, or else you're on your own. So, while someday you would be sitting on the tower and providing the traffic separation to them. So it's just Bhagwan ke bharose, like that.
Good motivation.
If God is with you, they would help you to get separated.
Exciting and good motivation.
No, kuch aisa hoga nahi, sir. But yeah, you would be flying with the instructors. So, and you would also get the information of the other aircraft. You would be in the communication. So separation are kept between the aircraft. Aircraft खुद ही communicate कर लेते हैं, like that. कि मैं landing पे हूँ तो वो take off phase पे होना चाहिए था, like that. So वो ideology आ जाता है when you start flying. आपको ATC की भी जरूरत पड़ती नहीं है फिर, like that.
Typically, सारे flying schools class G type होते हैं क्या?
हाँ, क्योंकि it's good to fly over there because there are no other traffics which can avoid you to fly, like that. So it's good to keep flying and learn the aircraft more in better way than flying in the busiest environment, because in the busiest environments you cannot fly. Whatever they are gonna say, you are supposed to do that only. So following the instructions only, that what you do when you are flying in the controlled airspace. तो जू पे जब आप fly करते हो ना, तो ये problem होती है. वो जो बोलेंगे वो ही करना है हमें. हम हमारी मर्जी से कुछ flying नहीं कर सकते. You cannot learn. Whenever they say, then only you can land. वहाँ पे कोई प्रॉब्लम की बात नहीं है. आपको लैंडिंग प्रैक्टिस करनी है तो आप 1 घंटे में 6 से 7 लैंडिंग प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो. But in Juhu you will not be able to do so like that. Only 2 to 3 landings you can do. That's it. That is how it is. So over there, landing 1 hour में आपने 6 landing practice किया. It would be more better for you to practice those landings on the initial stage of your flying. Landing is more important and taking off, like that. So वो सारी चीजें फायदा करती है uncontrolled airspace में, like that. Juhu पे तो most probably you will not be able to land solo only. It's very short runway and you need to come very steep. For initial stages पे we are not able to control that aircraft with a heavy speed. क्योंकि we are supposed to approach on 60 knots, but you would be approaching over here at 70 knots. और फिर 70 knots पे लैंड करने के बाद ब्रेक भी मारने हमें. ब्रेक समझ में आती है नहीं. राइट ब्रेक ज्यादा लग गई तो टायर इस तरफ जाएगा या तो इस तरफ चला जाएगा. So that is how it's gonna happen. So this is what a very small sweet chapter is about. Whatever the content that I have given to you, that would help you to understand the classes of airspace that we have done. After that, there is one more thing that we need to study. That is the different routes to be flown. Chart के related aircraft का जो chart मैंने आपको बताया, वो charts जो है उसके basis पे the different route categories have been defined on the basis of the alphabets. I'll show you that routes how they are and then I'll explain you this. Okay. So can everyone see this chart paper? Right? Okay, if I'll zoom it to you now, this is a airspace that is known as Mumbai airspace. Okay. Now, if you're gonna fly from one place to another, you're gonna take these routes only which are in the black letters. Black letters दिख रहे हैं आपको, lines दिख रही है. That are the airways build up on into the air. Airways are built up. That airways, you are supposed to fly on that airway only. Saying that on the roads, we have name of that roads, right? Similarly, the airways that they have developed into this air, that also has their name on the basis of the alphabet and numeric. Alpha 474, Golf 450, Whiskey 13 North, Whiskey 13 South. So different routes they are. Each and every route and the name. Yeah.
This chart is called what?
These are the route charts that are known as.
Route charts. Okay.
Okay, आपको जरूरत अभी नहीं पड़ेगी. आप जब basically PPL पे आपको route charts की जरूरत नहीं है. Just I am explaining so that knowledge is required to be. You are gonna use VFR chart that are known as, यहाँ पे जहाँ पे routes नहीं बने रहेंगे, you would be making your own route and you would be flying. जो VFR flying के लिए use होता है. One place to another, you'll draw that and then you'll flying and you navigate and calculate what degree you are gonna fly, कौन सा route fly करना है मेरे को, like that. One point to one point directly you will be flying. But these route charts are different, that is allowed to fly for the commercial airways. जो IFR flight करते हैं वो. Are you getting it, guys? So every route has their own different name, and every route name has different content and the information that is providing, that what type of that route it is. Types of route, that means international route है या domestic route है, or else what type of navigation equipment that you are gonna get on that flying on that route. Some routes would be getting GPS navigation, some route would be getting ground-based navigation, like that. So in navigation, you'll be learning those things. So on the basis of type of this routes, that is Alpha, Whiskey, Golf. So depending on that, we can get to know what type of that route it is from the content of the book that we have, that is the RK Bali. Just hold on, I'll open it and I'll show it to you. याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है, just the information is required to be known to you all, guys. धीरे धीरे बस आपको इंफॉर्मेशन पता होनी चाहिए कहाँ पे होती है ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन. That's it. Okay, so sections of letters. So any route whose prefix, matlab prefix means the first letter, okay, and the numbers. Any route that is with starting with A, that is Alpha, Bravo, Golf, or Romeo, for routes which form a part of regional network of air traffic service and are not area navigation route. They are not RNAV routes. Lima, RNAV matlab radio navigation. Radio navigation is an equipment on an aircraft which allows you to navigate from one place to another. फिर Lima, Mike, November and Papa, they are the routes, are the navigation routes which are the part of regional network of the air traffic service, and they are the international non-RNAV routes. Then H, J, V, W, these are the aircrafts that are the domestic non-RNAV routes, and QT, YZ are the domestic RNAV routes, like that. So आप लिख सकते हो RNAV, non-RNAV, like that. Non-RNAV, international. ये A and B are the international routes. C and D are the domestic routes. The first is non-RNAV, the another one is the RNAV. RNAV, it is known as.
Could you repeat the difference between RNAV and non-RNAV?
So RNAV routes are based on the basis of GPS location. That satellites are helping you to navigate from one place to another. Non-RNAV, जहाँ पे GPS location नहीं है, ground-based navigation aid के वजह से बने हुए वो, like that. Okay.
Okay.
फिर उसके बाद that are known as the prefix. Suffixes are the thing that is after the end of the letter or word or something like that. So There are other routes also that is known as Kilo, Uniform and Sierra. Kilo routes are for the low level helicopters के related routes जो होते हैं वो. You indicate the route for the portion thereof established in the upper level के लिए. And as indicates established exclusively for the supersonic routes, supersonic flights जो होती है उनके लिए वो routes बने हुए हैं. ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद हमारे पास और आता है that is the suffixes. ठीक है. उसके अंदर मतलब that would indicate the direction, that is अगर N लिखा हुआ है तो north है, S लिखा हुआ है तो south route है, east है तो easterly route है, westerly route है, like that. Semicircular rule हम लोग ने पढ़ाई करी थी, right? That easterly track पे we are gonna fly on odd flight levels, westerly पे we are gonna fly on odd even flight levels. अगर कोई suffixes mention नहीं है कि north, south, east, west mention नहीं है तो वो route जो है वो दोनों direction के लिए है, like that. Both directions you can go also, you can come also on this route. That is what this information is, and that is considered as the end of this chapter. सारा हो गया. Okay, now what we can do is we'll take a little time. I want that you solve this question now only because सब लोग कोई homework करते नहीं है तुम लोग. ठीक है. So why I want you to solve this question so that you don't forget things like that. Practice is required. So क्या कर सकते हैं? Take a pause firstly. Go through the things that I have shared to you. Study that well nicely. 10 minutes, that is 15:35. 15:45, I will make a revision with you all guys, and then we'll solve few questions with you all guys right now only with you. That is fine. Take a 10 minutes. Take a break also. Do and just go through things what I have shared.
Sure, sir.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'll be here on. Okay, and one more question with you all guys. Like whoever have collected the documents for the computer number, So did you all got the list of documents that you'll require, everyone? Sneha, Nishant, Manan.
Do we have to submit the documents to Bombay Flying Club or we have to apply it ourselves?
So the thing is that you will have to collect those documents and then give that hard copies to the reception or the SILE who will be helping you to apply for the computer number. Now for the same, you don't have to submit those documents, but you need to collect those documents in the form of the PDF or the soft copy. Then you will require to apply online and make an application, okay, which would contain a lot of details to be uploaded on the system of the pariksha.com. After that, they will print out that application form. In that application form, all the documents, whatever would be mentioned, that all documents, you need to make a copy of that document, that whatever would be mentioned, collect that by pile of that documents, then give it to the office of that so that they can sign and signature on that application. And then that application is to be sent to the DGCA. Now in that application, you'll require a photo, soft copy photo also with the dimensions and everything, your signature in the soft copy form, your 10th ka mark sheet, passing certificate and the board verification, your date of birth certificate and one ID proof. These are the list of documents that you'll require to collect those. Get it very faster way. If you have any doubt, just coordinate to the reception of BFC so that they can help you, because this is gonna take a very lengthy process. For 30 to 40 days, you will require to get the board verification. So whichever the board that you have given your examination of 10 standard from, you need to coordinate and go to that board head office. If you have done it from the CBSE, you can get it online, while others, you have to get it offline. Or if you have given NIS also, you can get that online board verification online. So every board has different regulation to get the board verification done. Okay, so SILE will able to help you out with that. If you is not able to get back to you, do let me know so that I can help you out with that same. Okay, because after applying for computer number, after 40 days, you can get a reply that your application has been accepted or rejected. 99% times it get rejected. Okay, फिर बाद में वापस से अप्लाई करने का पड़ेगा, because they cannot accept any minor mistakes that you do during your application in terms of name, in terms of application. अगर मार्कशीट में नेम अलग है और आईडी प्रूफ्स में नेम अलग है आपका, the sequence is also different, then you need to create an affidavit of that. तो थोड़ा सा lengthy process है. तो start collecting the documents, verify those documents with the BFC reception, and then proceed and start applying for the same. Then only you will be able to apply for the examination also. Flying तो हो जाएगा, SPL भी मिल जाएगा आपको, but PPL नहीं मिल पाएगा क्योंकि PPL के पेपर्स बाकी रह जाएंगे. Okay, done.
Who is the person to coordinate with? SILE.
SILE, yeah.
Any phone number, WhatsApp, or some such thing?
BFC reception का जो number है ना, from that one number,
Okay.
it's her number.
Okay.
Anyone who will be calling now, they will send you the list of thing, or do one thing, just text it in the group saying that please share the list of documents that are to be collected for the computer number, so they will help you out with that. How is rain going on in Mumbai? बहुत हो रहा है या रुक गया अभी?
It's pretty bright sunny light in at least South Mumbai. Churchgate is clear.
चलो, it's good then.
No, central areas are all raining.
It's raining अभी भी. Trains
हाँ,
वगैरह का
क्या-
क्या scene है? Is this walking? Because I'm gonna travel tomorrow to Mumbai back again.
Trains are okay. It's not that bad. 2 days it was on a very high weather forecast that it will rain badly. Today
The
it's
Surat also, yesterday it was raining, it got flooded. For 6 hours, it continually rained over here also. Now it's
Not-
better, I guess.
2 days were bad, but today it's like sort of it rains, then it stops, it rains, it stops. It's
So it's not
con-
heavy. That means what I guess means like trains would be working on the same schedule, I guess.
Trains are on. So far is okay.
Now, okay then. चलो. So कुछ डाउट जैसा लग रहा है ये चैप्टर में या
Sir,
पढ़ाई करके हो जाएगा?
ओवरलोड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन जैसा लगता है कभी कभी इट बिकम्स टू मेनी ऑफ टेक्निकल एंड ये नहीं समझता टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट इंफॉर्मेशन इज नीडेड दैट्स वेयर आई एम फेसिंग अ चैलेंज इन ऑल
Okay.
द
Okay. The point
Which-
is
nice
in
start.
terms of regulation,
Ah,
whatever I make you write down, theory not important. Whatever the content that I'm gonna give you to you for this chapter, वो थियोरी आप याद रखो, बुक खोलना ही मत, मैं बोलूँ तो आपको, और उसके बाद ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने की थियोरी नॉलेज रखना, बस इतना
the
ही.
question so at times na sir they look sort of overwhelming when I was just going through then the specific precise values if there are there
So
it to be
for the same, see, there would be a lot of questions over here which you have to learn by heart only, जो book में भी नहीं रहेगा, ठीक है, because it's a regulation. Secondly, there would be few questions where you would be knowing it where they are asking it from, ठीक है. So आप उसका theory खोलो और देखो एक बारी, आप ऐसे पढ़ाई क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो, don't solve it as a test. That is what I told you. Whenever you read a question, scroll your book, find it out. It's gonna take a little bit time, but then you'll gain a knowledge, and then you'll whatever answer you are marking na, you will convince yourself with that, हाँ ये मेरे को पता है और ये करेक्ट है. अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रहा है पता है आपको, अपने ऊपर भरोसा ही नहीं हो पा रहा है कि ये सही है या ये गलत है. ये कब हो पाएगा, जब आप बुक खोलोगे, एक बार देखोगे उसको, तब. लाइक दैट. ओके, अब ये चैप्टर में देयर आर फ्यू क्वेश्चंस दैट यू विल नॉट बी डूइंग, सो आई एम हाइलाइटिंग इट. ओके, इसको आपको याद करना पड़ेगा. अब ये बुक में नहीं है, ठीक है. ओके, लाइक दैट. Approach control service units providing air traffic service are air traffic control service provided for the purpose ये 7 नहीं करने का, याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. 7 write it down. 7 not required. 8 not required. 9 not required.
there are a lot of questions on class of this airspace and that.
Yeah, so that is all on one table. That is this.
Need to be remembered, then it has to be
नहीं,
just remembered.
आप रिमेम्बर नहीं करोगे ना, बस आप ये एक बार क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करते करते वो टेबल को खोलते जाओ. एक बार आप खोल लोगे ना, फिर आपको पता चल जाएगा कि क्या चीज क्या है.
Okay.
So 8 is also not required.
8 is not required. 9th is not required. 11th not required. 12th you will have to remember. 13th I'll teach you later, not now. 16 चलेगा, 17 चलेगा, 18, 19, 20. 23 एलिमिनेट नहीं करना है.
14, 15 रखना है ना.
हाँ, 14, 15 रखना है. वो तो अभी हम लोग ने पढ़ाई करके ही रखी हुई है उसकी.
18 to be eliminated, no?
हाँ. Then 23rd also. 27th also you will eliminate. Thereafter that 30 I'll be teaching you. 38 eliminate. 40 you also eliminate. (41) eliminate, 42 eliminate, 44 also. 55 you'll eliminate. 68, 69, 70 you will have to remember the answer. 71 you will eliminate. 72 also, 73 also, 74 also, and 75 also eliminate. Okay, so I guess now the questions that are available, they are all only from this table of classes of airspace and the related to the services that we have studied. I'll share you the 4 pages of the chapter that I have created notes like. So you will not required to study the theory from this book. Only one thing that you will be able to go through is the table जो है वो. बाकी सारा information मैंने note wise prepare कर लिया है, so that you just go through that thing and that is done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that are around how much? 75. So next chapter will try to understand traffic separation now. Traffic separation अभी हम लोग ने देखा तो सही traffic separation मिलता है, but दो aircraft के बीच में कितना separation होना चाहिए, कैसे होना चाहिए, वो चीज is the next lecture that we'll be studying too. Okay. So when you'll come next on the next Saturday, we'll study that. So
Sure.
during those days, whenever you are studying, if you have any doubts, I told you last time also, any doubts, किधर भी पढ़ाई करने के time रुक जाते हो, just send me, text me, call me, और अगर कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते तो voice message भेज दो, सबसे best है. Voice message type भी नहीं हो पाता, but voice message अच्छे से बोल तो पाएंगे आप, है ना? So send me a voice message. I'll also help you out to understand. So पढ़ाई करने के टाइम पे कुछ भी ऐसा डाउट हो, बार बार वॉइस मैसेज भेज दो, टाइम मिलेगा मेरे को, मैं रिप्लाई कर दूंगा आपको. ठीक है?
Sure, sir. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
So
now-
voice message is more better to do that, so that I can also understand what concept are you asking, and then we'll clear those doubts and start the process for computer number, guys. हाँ, बहुत टाइम लगने वाला है वो सारी चीजों के लिए. Documentation is very important.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
shall we take a leave, because it should be end by 14:30. So ठीक है, but you would be studying till 14:30. ऐसा सोच के मैं आपको छुट्टी दे रहा हूँ. ठीक है?
Thank
Yes.
you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, chalo. Have a nice day. Bye, guys, and we'll see you next lecture then. Okay, chalo.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Attend